I hope everybody's doing A-OK. Dang. I'm doing okay. I hope everybody's doing okay. Been a long evening, long day. I had a few people come by today. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I went by the store earlier and got me a coffee and a beer. I'm currently drinking the coffee. Hey, how we doing, Michael? Dave, happy Thanksgiving. Yep, yo, yo. We're doing good. All I gotta do is pull the head bolts and the head's ready to pop off. Um, I'll probably just wait and get old boy's breaker bar in the morning when he takes his kid to school. Bam! Hey, Frankie, Joseph, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? Wow, 5 and 5. I like that. Thank you so much. Goodness. Um, so I'm pretty sure it's a stuck valve. Um, so sure that I've like I say, all I gotta do is pop the head bolts off now, and the head will lift off. Um, I've already took the rocker arms and the push rods and all that stuff off the exhaust manifold, so I'm committed to pulling the head. Going to replace that valve tomorrow. Either me, Daniel, or me and Daniel, or Daniel and Daniel's friend. Somehow, some way tomorrow, that valve's getting replaced or fixed. I don't see no reason why I can't do it if I get a valve spring tool. No, I mean basically you just compress the valve spring and take the keepers out, and once you release the valve spring, the valve will drop right out of the head. You got to look at the valve seal and everything. So I may just go ahead and buy a new valve and seal. It depends on what AutoZone's got and everything. Um, I'd like to just go ahead and replace the valve and seal, but they're not that hard. And then to put it back, you just compress the spring with that tool. And the trick is you put grease on the keepers. There's two keepers that keep the valve in. That's why you got to compress it, because you put them around the valve stem, and when you release the spring gently, they stay inside, and that locks that valve in. Well, a lot of people just, they clean and they put the keeper there and they move and shit. Well, if you take and put grease on them, because grease ain't gonna hurt your engine at all or nothing. But if you take and put grease on the inside of that little keeper, it will kind of act like glue and hold it there while you go ahead and get the spring compressor, the way you need it and everything. So it's just kind of like a trick, like putting in fuel pumps. Uh, the 454 or whatever. Here, the fuel pump um, is operated by a rod, and it can come out and whatnot. Anyhow, to keep it up in there where it don't come forward or mess you up, you just put grease on it when you go to put it in, and the grease will hold it in place for a few minutes. So grease is really good to use, kind of like temporary glue to hold something in place for a few minutes, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, right on, Dave. I know that. Yep, yep, yep. Plus, I'm going to put a new head gasket on it. I'm just going to bite the bullet and buy another $40 head gasket, I guess. So hopefully I can make the repair within about $100. But absolutely, Dave. That's why you should always blow out your your bolt holes and stuff like that. But no, I drained the water out of the heads pretty much before I took the head off. Uh, I took the bottom hose off of the radiator and a 5 gallon bucket and let it drain down. So I really didn't have hardly any water whatsoever come out of any port or anything. I mean, I maybe got about an ounce that went in the valley pan. But thank you. I mean, I know what you're talking about there. Ah, damn. I forgot to send you that damn phone number address again. Damn it, damn it, damn it. See, I knew I'd forget. I'm going to write me a big ass note right here and now. Because I know you probably want to get it mailed off as quick as you can. Uh, uh. If I'd only took that advice earlier, huh? No. Now, cops will probably come by tomorrow. I expect them to come by tomorrow, but I didn't think they would be by today. I mean, it'd be kind of shitty to come by on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Cool, right on. Try and remind me. uh, beer 30. I bought a coffee and a beer. I'm currently drinking the coffee. Beer's in the refrigerator. No, it wasn't a Corona 6 pack. It's a can of Coors. It's my Turkey Day celebration, I guess, which was a pizza, a cheese pizza instead of turkey. Um, Heard from my daughter and my brother, and so I'm feeling pretty doggone blessed this year. I've heard from quite a few friends too. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate all the messages and love. Oh, I got a few visitors today. Hell, I even had Lieutenant Dan from TikTok send me a message today. So, it's been a pretty cool and blessed day. It really has. Ah. Your mom's wasted for Thanksgiving. That's cool. Man, I just flashed back to the first time I remember seeing my mom high. Oh gosh, how I wished I'd seen her high instead of drunk all the time. It would have been so much better. But I can remember the first time getting high with my mom. Said she felt like she was walking on clouds. She was high stepping. We was crabbing down. We stayed at a KOA. My stepdad was the grounds manager there and whatnot, and we had the first trailer as you come inside the KOA. But yeah, they had a lake there called the Soda Lakes. That was the best thing about that KOA was it was right there on that lake. And we'd go there and get some chicken necks or whatever and catch crab. And we was out there crabbing, and my half brother Charlie Brown and me and Mom smoked a joint, and she was high stepping, going back in the trailer to get some more crab bait and stuff. It was funny. I never got to smoke with my dad, but I found out at a real young age, kind of how cool he was with it, because we had broke down. We were somewhere on vacation. One of his buses that he turned into a motorhome, really super, super, super nice. Had the engine in the rear, and we had to get into town. And anyhow, he arranged a ride for a taxi to take us like 30 miles away to get a part. And when the taxi come by and picked us up, we get in, and he's got another guy riding with him, for safety, whatever. Anyhow, he had another guy riding with him, which that was cool. Me and the dad's in the back, and we get about 5 minutes down the road, and the guy pulls out his joint, fires it up, hands it to the buddy, and then the buddy takes a hit and looks at my dad like, "Hey, do you want some?" And Dad's, "No, I'm good." And he didn't say a word. Let him smoke their joint, whatever, He just so that surprised the hell out of me. But and heck, I was probably 15 back then. Yeah, Mom was really good to get stoned with. Not drunk, but stoned. Oh, yeah. Hey, you know what's weird? I was sitting here thinking about my brother today and all of a sudden I get a message, and it's from my brother. And he sends me a nice long prayer and everything, and about Thanksgiving and whatnot. And I have no problem celebrating Thanksgiving. You know, really no problem whatsoever. I don't call that a pagan holiday or whatnot. I don't see no really wrong in Thanksgiving. I do in Halloween and Christmas. So I told him, hey, that's great and thank you and everything, but remember, I don't celebrate Christmas because he's a pastor of a church and he does. Personally, I think that's so wrong, but that's between him and the Lord and his congregation, not me. But he said, yeah, he wrote me back, yeah, I understand, I see, continue to follow I am. And that's who the Creator is anyway. I am the beginning, I am the end. So when he put continue following I am, I thought that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I told him, because I follow Yahshua. And so that was pretty cool. He said he understood, continue to follow I am. Well, you know what? I would disagree. Just like parents usually give their kids their first alcohol. Normally, when they're infants. Yeah, damn near every parent ever was back in the day. As soon as them kids started teething, or they'd dip their finger in a whiskey and rub it on their gums and shit. I remember that as kids. I remember my parents doing that as kids to our younger siblings. Absolutely, I remember. I remember when Mom caught us drinking a beer, she got some beers hot, and I mean literally hot, and made us drink them. And hot beer gets you drunk quicker than anything. Oh yeah, I remember them days, just like when you had to smoke a whole cigar or a pack of cigarettes when you got caught. I didn't stop nothing. Neither did making us drink the hot beers and stuff. Never stopped nothing. But you'd think twice about getting caught. Oh, right on, Eddie. But no, I would rather my kids come to me and talk to me about cannabis, alcohol, or anything. And then, if it's at that age when they're getting up there, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, where they're going to try whatever with or without, I would rather them have their first experience at home and with a loved one. If a 15, 16-year-old, my kid was 15 or 16, come up to me and ask me that, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'd make it a special day, evening, whatever, and yeah. A parent in the 15, 16 year, I don't see no harm in that whatsoever, other than smoke. We shouldn't be putting smoke in our lungs. That I agree with. But to sit down and enjoy an edible with a minor or something and show them what cannabis is about and everything, hell yeah. I mean, if you watch one of the Texas TV news stories, I don't know if it was Lubbock or Amarillo, but on one of them, they let me say, I hope my grandkids don't drink or smoke. It's cigarettes, pot, anything. And I hope they don't do alcohol. But I know how this world is and everything. And if they have to do something, I'd much rather it be cannabis before they tasted their first sip of alcohol or before they smoked their first vape or nicotine cigarette. I'd much rather see them do cannabis. Preferably not, because we shouldn't put that smoke in our lungs. But I know I ain't the only person out here that knows life sucks straight. I don't care how good you are, how this, that, and the other. Life sucks straight. And, I mean, hey, that's why I think God gave me cannabis. Because if I have a little cannabis, my life's perfect, pretty much. I still have the to fight and to struggle like everyone else. But cannabis holds that shit show together. Everybody's got a vice. I'm proud mine's cannabis and not a pill or not alcohol, or not cocaine no more or nothing. I mean, that's why I did cocaine, because it made my life better. Well, I finally realized cocaine didn't make your life better. It actually ruined your life. It made you feel better, but you had no life. With cannabis, now I have a life, and I feel great. I feel better. I feel so much closer to the Father and the Son, and that's simply staying with what He made, not what man made. They tell you that the love, the root, money's the root of all evil. Oh, that's not true, and that's not what the Bible really says. It says the love of it is what's evil. Just like when they said cannabis was the devil's lettuce. Bullshit. Money. Man made the devil's lettuce. It's called money. God made marijuana, which in Hebrew is called cannabisum. Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Michael. If people would admit it, when it comes to smoking and stuff, it was fun. When you snuck around at school or foster homes, parents, whatever, when you had to sneak around and not get caught and all, it was fun. But after a while, and when your parents figure out nothing they're going to do or say or this, that, and the other, nobody really cares no more. Go ahead. You want to catch cancer? Go ahead. Here, I'll buy you a pack. Then it's not fun. People try to quit, and it's such a bad habit they can't quit. And that's how that really ends up a lot. It was that way with me. When I snuck around and did it and whatnot, it was cool. But as soon as nobody cared and like, here, have as many as you want, it was no longer fun. It was just a habit that I had. And thank the good Lord he let me walk away from it. Yeah, kids shouldn't hide nothing from their parents. We should be open, honest, and talk about it. Just like the cannabis thing. If I had a 15 or 16-year-old that was questioning me about it, I would listen to him because if I didn't listen to him, he's going to listen to the other people that's got it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would just rather be open and honest. And if they told me that they were ready to try it or they're being they wanted to try it or something, yeah, I'd set a Friday or Saturday evening or whatnot and smoke a hit or two with them and show it what it's about. I would much rather be the first person to smoke with one of my kids or grandkids than a stranger. Does that make sense? Then I know it's nothing laced with anything. I hear they got something called Love Boat now, and they're taking and putting PCP or like roach spray or something on cannabis now, like they did back in the day with the PCP. Um, but they're using PCP and I forget the second, two different chemicals, and they call it the Love Boat. Nah, you don't want nothing to do with that shit. Don't lace cannabis with nothing. People put cocaine in it, call it a primo. It ain't primo. It's taking the God-given herb and putting man-made junk on it and poison. So yeah, I'd much rather be the first person to smoke with one of my children or grandkids. Actually, if my grandkids' parents didn't want to be the first one. When I spent that year in the reform school where I learned how to cook and shit, my dad brought me a carton of cigarettes when he came up to visit. When I first got sent up there, he sent me with a carton of cigarettes. He put it in my suitcase, and then when he came up and visited, he brought me a carton of cigarettes. Crocodile. Oh yeah, I don't know nothing about it. Yeah, isn't that where it kind of eats your skin and shit like that? Well, heck, I'm excited about tomorrow. I think this is going to fix it. Of course, I thought it was going to be fixed for the last couple of weeks, but um, I think this is going to fix it. I'll be so damn happy if I pull that head and pop that valve out and can find it's got like a little bend in it. I'll be so happy. And you should be able to check it um, because it's going to be a shaft all the way down to where it starts to bevel. Well, just right before it starts to bevel, lay it on a flat surface and let the other part hang over and roll it and see if it's straight or not. Or that's what I plan on doing. Unless you can actually see the bend. Oh, have I ever tried that? Oh, no, no, no. No, like I never did heroin or pills or none of that. I've done microdot orange sunshine, all kinds of LSD or acid or whatever, mushrooms. That's I've never done ecstasy or none of that. I've never been into uppers, downers, lefters, righters, none of that crap. My main drug that I was screwed over on by myself, no one else, was cocaine. And had Dare told me the truth about pot, I probably would have never ever tried cocaine. I don't know that for a fact, but I hold it against them to lie to me about cannabis. That's why it's important that we teach our kids about these drugs and stuff. Why do we call it drugs and alcohol, or alcohol and drugs? Isn't alcohol a drug? Why can we put people in prison for life for marijuana, a drug, but we can't put them in prison for life for driving and drinking? I mean, see, none of that makes no damn sense. They glorify the worst and top drug in the world, which is alcohol. And yes, God said we can have it. He turned water into wine, but moderation, not every day, and then just make it your life and get drunk and all that crap and drive around on it. So, but the 3 top drugs in the world are legal. That's what pisses me off about cannabis. The 3 top drugs in the world are absolute legal: alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine. Oh, Coke is real bad. Yeah, coffee, caffeine. That's, where caffeine comes in. Alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine. Coffee, absolutely. And they glorify them. Hell, they used to glorify the hell out of cigarettes when I was growing up. You didn't have a chance not to smoke when I was growing up. You'd go down and buy the big fake colored cigars, and you buy the packs of the cigarettes. Hey, Michael, people can hate me if they want, but I think that if they ever was a 3-strike, your outlaw should be made. It should be about DUIs. If a person gets caught the 3rd time driving under the influence of alcohol, they should just spend the rest of their time locked up in a cage. And I don't regret saying that at all. I mean, I'm good for giving someone a chance, the first chance. Cool. Give them a couple days in jail, a fine, let them have their license back and whatnot. Second time, loss of license forever, mandatory 1 year in the city jail, the county jail. Oh yeah. Third time, forget it. Lock them up, put them away. You want me for president? I damn sure would slow down a lot of the drunk driving. Because all you got to do is simply not drink and drive. I'm not saying people can't drink and can't get drunk and stuff. I'm just saying I want to stop people from drinking and getting in a car and driving. That's not like locking people up for having cannabis for life like they did Jem Mazansky and all. You know what I mean? Saying you can't have it or whatever. I'm still saying people can have alcohol all they want. All they want, I don't care. But do not get in and operate a vehicle and expect to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 DUIs. That's the biggest money scam racket that they've got going on across the nation. Putting the go blows and stuff in the cars and charging them money and still letting people get killed and stuff over it. They don't care about us. It's all about money. They wanted to stop drunk driving. Tell me 3 strikes you're out wouldn't stop drunk driving. The hell it wouldn't. Or there you go. Quit locking up the stoners. Fill all them prisons for profit up for the people that insist on driving drunk. You know what I mean? Because you could catch a cab, you could walk, you could get a ride with a friend. Just don't get and operate a vehicle. Oh, hey, heck, Ray, I know. If they would just quit lying about cannabis, they won't admit, well, they won't even admit that it was in the anointing oil. And the Hebrew Bible was wrote long before the King James bullshit Bible and stuff, okay? And in the Hebrew Bible, it tells you cannabis was in the anointing oil. I mean, that's how bad our government lies to us. Captain Caveman, hey, how you doing? Guilty of being right. There you go. And the only reason they wouldn't do it 3 strikes you're out with the alcohol, because all the rich elite son of a bitches that run this world, it's their kids, their grandkids, and them themselves that can't abide by the law. They just buy their ways out of it or whatever. Look at that judge that got busted for the DUI. Normal fine was close to $2,000. She paid $300. Mandatory 8 days. She did 3, and still kept her job because it was a misdemeanor. DUI shouldn't be a misdemeanor at all. That first one, yes. Second one, definite felony. Third one, done. I don't think he wrote it. I don't think William Shakespeare wrote it. It's been revived 16 times. So no matter who wrote it, it's been rewrote 16 times. Or parts of it. It's more popular because they changed names and this, that, and the other. They changed it around a little bit. um, they change it around a little bit according to the like, why can't the King James Bible tell you that cannabis or even cannabis was in anointing oil? They don't lie to you. They use a word, well, it could be cannabis or it could be this or it could be that. We don't know. Well, the Hebrew knew, so why didn't you know when you translated it? Oh, hey, you never hear me tell people to smoke and drive. Nope, you never will hear me tell people to smoke and drive. I agree with you. I think all cannabis should be carried out of the driver's reach. I don't think they should be roaches in the ashtray. Yeah, you're right. I'm right there with you, Dave. I'm right there with you. You know, um, it should be that you carry your weed, your bongs, your pipe, or whatever in your glove box, your center console, or your trunk. No roaches in the ashtray. That'd be just like an open container. Wait till you get your ass home to smoke that joint or bong or vape or whatever. Oh yeah, yeah. See, I agree with you on that. But I don't drink and drive. I've drank and I drive, so I know how I would not drink and drive. Would I smoke a joint and drive? I did years ago for 13 years driving a tow truck, working accidents and everything else. Yeah, it didn't affect my driving whatsoever. But, different things affect people different ways. And in no way, shape, or form would I tell anybody to smoke a joint, let alone smoke a joint and drive a vehicle. See, we shouldn't put no smoke in our lungs first and foremost. And if you do want to put smoke in your lungs, that's your business. But when you step behind the wheel and drive, now it's not just your business, it's everybody that's on the road's business. And, yeah, I'm sure there's people out there you doggone sure wouldn't want to be smoking and driving. They'd be sitting at the stop sign waiting for it to turn green and shit. But at least they wouldn't be running the stop sign like a drunk would. Mr. Eddie, the Bible is exactly what it stands for. Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. That's all it is. Whether we want to study it, read it, learn from it, research its meanings and origin and pray on it, that's all up to us. It is simply the basic instructions before leaving Earth. Hey, good afternoon, Frank. And it is a book of what not to do. That's all in the Ten Commandments. Absolutely, Eddie, the Golden Rule. The Golden Rule covers all 9 of the 10 Commandments, except keep the Sabbath day holy. Other than that, everything's covered under the Golden Rule, like you're saying, you know. And that's what I say. If we quit fighting whether we're on a ball, a flat, or a pyramid for Earth and quit destroying it with chemtrails and sucking oil out of the ground and stuff and take care of it, and remember we're simply human beings, black, white, red, yellow, gay, straight, whatever, we're human beings on planet Earth and live that Golden Rule, whether we're black, white, gay, straight, live that Golden Rule, we'd be in the Garden of Eden. We would be in the Garden of Eden. What's fun? What was funny, Dave? I'm sorry. What part was funny, Dave? I lost that because there's a little gap of time and I get to rambling. I don't know what part was funny. Oh, look, we got a dumbass on here, don't we? When it starts out Mr. Ineffective, and they show themselves a liar as soon as the first couple. Hey, don't take it down until I read it. But this shows you how stupid they are, even on Thanksgiving. They can't be at their families and stuff and whatnot, not come on here and trying, but they ain't ruining mine. Actually, I would have been disappointed had they not been here. But they started out with a lie. If I was so insignificant, why are they still trying to mess with me? Evidently, we all live in their heads rent-free. Oh, let me read their bullshit. Okay, I've only received about 6,000 signatures. Okay, let's break this down for these idiots, okay? Y'all help me out. Y'all help me out with this, okay? I'm innocent because since 2020, whatever, I've only gathered 6,000 signatures or whatever, right? How is that any way, shape, or form my... Don't that mean since 2020 to now that I've been out here fighting every year and I can't control who signs or don't signs a petition? I can't control 10 people walking up to me today saying, hey, I'm going to sign it and going home and not doing it. How is that my fault? Didn't I talk to them 10? Didn't I tell them about that petition? And don't the shame go on them and not me? Am I missing something here? I mean, isn't that the way that works? Please let me know your comment on that one. How does that look bad on me? I was here to tell them about it and whatnot. Isn't it up to them to do it? And if they don't, it's bad on them, not me. I would be insufficient if I didn't tell them about it. That's like telling somebody about the Lord and Savior Jesus. If you don't tell nobody about it and they don't know, well, that's shame on me. But if I tell them about Jesus and whatnot and they don't come to Jesus, it's not shame on me. It's shame on them. They're the ones that lose. I mean, right or wrong. How does that make me insufficient? I think in my Savior's eyes, he sees me out here telling everybody the way to get to Canada. And if they don't want to listen, whatnot, shame on them, not me. Do I have that backwards or do the trolls have it backwards? Please let me know. And when have I been begging people for donations? See these dumbasses? I ain't begging nobody for donations. Matter of fact, I told everybody to wait and see what the insurance and stuff or the Walmart was going to pay because I could probably pay for it, which I've been doing. See? They lying asses. Oh, they're such idiots. I want to bitch slap them for a minute, just for being stupid like that. There's your little bitch slap, and then we'll put the comment back up. Oh, they put on there, I'm the reason they didn't sign. How can that be? How could that be? I mean, are they stupid or what? What sounds self-centered, Mr. Eddie? You lost me on that. What sounds self-centered? What I'm saying is, just like somebody preaching the gospel of Jesus, okay? They come and tell you about it, whether you accept him or do anything or act on it, that's up to you, right? Well, it's the same with this, with a petition. I come to you and I tell you about this petition, how we can change and stuff. If you don't get on it, how is that anything against me? I did my job as a human being and come and told you a way that we could change. We all have free will. I can't make you change. Just like I can't make you accept Jesus. But I did my job as a human being by coming to you and telling you, yo, man, we can change this and we all stand together. How does that make me a bad person, an instant, or anything? To me, it makes the person that don't want to become the good person, Christian, bad. Or the one that don't want to see cannabis change, bad. How does it make me bad? What's up? What's up? Escuela? I don't want to pronounce that wrong. Yeah, Mr. John, don't he have that backwards? I think they're just... And if that's so insignificant and whatnot, why the hell are they on here every day? That don't make no sense. Maybe they stick around long enough harassing me that God will touch their hearts and they'll become saved and become good people. That's all I can pray for and hope for. All right, 2 thumbs up for that one. Yeah, not just 1 thumb, 2 thumbs up, Mr. John. That was a good one. But they come on here and make themselves look so stupid at times. Just like bragging they called the cop. Or they called in a welfare check and stuff. I've got that from 2 or 3 different police departments, well, you know, that I've been in different states and all, where they claim that they're the ones that called it. When I finally get the FBI or somebody to investigate this and I show them that and they see that calls were in that state and whatnot, they're dumbasses. You can't stop stupid. And you know, it's like that thief. They go out and they snatch a little bit and they snatch a little bit and they just, you know, it becomes, they never get caught. They never get caught. One day they're going to get caught. One day they're going to get caught. You can't keep doing the same stupid shit over and over and over and over and over and not get caught. You can think that. But when you least expect it, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Help me, Mr. Wizard. No, you don't do welfare checks all the time, and you shouldn't do anything to lie to the police and waste their thing, but you're full of shit saying the last welfare check you done on me was back in Black Canyon City, Arizona, dumbasses. I record every one that's happened. Don't sit there and lie. You can't just call in a welfare check on an RV on the side of the road, you stupid idiot. I mean, you could, but yeah. See, they can't even tell the truth or nothing. When's the last time the cops come by, or I've done a video where the cop said he'd come by for a welfare check? Wasn't it Black Canyon, Arizona, folks? See, they try and claim they do stuff and whatnot that they don't. Now, the parking stuff, well, they could or may not, or may or could be the ones that call in, or may not. I don't know. Only the cops would know that. But I know they ain't called in no damn welfare checks. They flat out lying there. Oh, they'd probably be stupid enough to keep calling. I don't think they're that stupid. I don't think they're that stupid. Y'all would know because I always record anytime the cops come, you know, and I don't think the cops here do a damn thing if somebody called in a welfare check. I mean, I've been here a month. They know who I am, what I'm doing, what. Why the hell would someone call in a welfare check on me? See, they're just being stupid. Cheers. Well, it's not something you can cash. No, it's just a big waste of police time and resources. You know, saying that you care for someone's welfare, whatever. Hey, they were on social media and threatened to hurt themselves. Hey, they were this. Hey, they were that. You know, some stupid excuse why you need an officer to go by and check and see if they're okay. A welfare check. The welfare of a person. I mean, I know you know that, but that some people might not, is why I'm explaining that. Oh, I can do a joke or a story here in a bit. Oh, not much, Daniel boy. Hey, Daniel, I need you to drop off my breaker bar, not my breaker, your breaker bar in the morning, would you? Yeah, I'll tell you a story. Remind me here in a few minutes. Hey, I wrote me a note to send John your address. Um, hey, John, can I just give him your phone number? If nothing else, I can give him your phone number and he can text you or call you or whatever on that number. Is that cool? But remind me, Daniel, I got to I've got to send him your address. I've got to send John your address. I wrote me a note, so after this live, I might remember. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the head off, and either me and you can fix it tomorrow or take it to your friend's shop or whatever. But here's what happened. I put the new push rod in, and I went to, you know, seat it down a little bit, and I could feel the valve going bump, bump, bump as I was and hear it go as it was compressing it down, and it wasn't down as low as all the other threads. Because Will was telling me to notice the threads, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't, lower than any of the other. But anyhow, as that valve, because it was, I guess, open a little bit, I felt it go, I mean, literally felt it do that. And none of the other valves could I feel it. And then when I loosened it back up and went to go back down, I could feel it kind of down. And I said, screw it. I'm taking the head off and replacing that valve. I think it's bent. What do you think, Doug? You think it's bent? Nobody threatened to take their last fishing trip. I said when I get too old where I can't wipe my own ass and take care of myself and whatnot, and things get too bad that I don't want to be here, I'd take my last fishing trip. And I will, but that could be next month, next year, 10 years from now, dumbasses. Anybody can lie to the cops and say I said something different. Need another little bitch slap for that one. The little bitch. I'd like to get this valve done and the head back on tomorrow. If I can do everything tomorrow, I'd really love to do it. I think me and you can put that valve in. Well, if you come by, you can drop off the thing, and I got to give you that number for Mr. John. What would you do, Doug? You'd just go ahead and take that head off and replace that valve, wouldn't you? Yeah, Daniel. I can see that's how that happened. I mean, that's why I'm saying I want to go ahead and if they got new valve here and whatnot, no problem. Get a new valve seal, whatever. If not, well, we just knock it out of the other one. I'm sure we can get a spring compressor here, but I think with your knowledge, my knowledge, whatever, that we can put a valve in it. What do you mean all bad, Doug? What are you talking about? Putting a new valve in's all bad? I would think leaving the bent valve in there or something would be all bad. I think putting it back together the way it is all bad. That's why I've almost got the head off. All I got to do is break the head bolts in the morning and lift the head off. And it's going to cost me another $45 in head gasket, but that's what it is. Got to replace that, I'm sure. Probably not wise to use the same one. Yo, 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 Mr. Will. Did you hear what I was just saying about that valve, Mr. Will? Um, when I went to put the new push rod in, um, I was, tightening her down and watching, like you said, the threads. And I did notice that all the threads are pretty much the same. Um, and I wasn't quite down matching the other threads when it started to push down on the valve, meaning it was probably open a little bit or whatever. But as I was tightening her down, she would go, and you could literally feel it. Like it was sticking and releasing, sticking, releasing, sticking, releasing as I was going a quarter turn. You could feel the valve like, and hear it, or tap, tap, as it was going down. And I unloosened it that half a turn and did it again, and it's like kind of, I was going to put the phone up there if you had your phone service on and let you hear it. You actually hear it kind of go tick, tick. None of the other valves do that. So I figure that it's bent. Well, I think the only thing that sucks about it is I got to pull the head and put another valve in it. But, I think that was the whole problem. It's got a bent valve. How do you get a bent valve in the beginning anyway? What would bend the valve? What's SOU or whatever that is? Oh, it could have been tightened a little too tight, but no, it wasn't tightened when I was pushing the valve down. Nah, because it had no pressure on it. And I was just seating the bolt. Okay, when you go to tighten it or do the sequence, okay, you get it to where the push rod barely moves, and then you give it half a turn. Well, when I went to go give it the half a turn, she goes, like she was sticking on something. And I'm like, that's not right. Oh, tighten too much or whatever could bend the valve. Hey, I might have bent that valve the first, or no, that was the other head. It wasn't this one. So I didn't do anything to bend this valve if it's bent. The first head, I would say, yeah, I could have bent that valve because that's when I bent the two rockers when I had them too tight. But that was just turning it over instead of starting it that bent them. This here, like Dave said, that thing was probably stuck open when it snapped that damn rocker arm. Who knows? But I'm glad that's all it did. Yeah, I'm sure it was bent when I got it because that's the first time I put a head on it. Anyhow, tomorrow I'm going to knock the head off, knock that valve out, put another valve in, and put her together. Well, something's wrong with it. And I can crank them, all the other valves down, yay far, a whole 2 turns. You know, this one you can't. It goes as you try and crank it down. And the only thing I could make it do that I can think of that would make it do that is being bent. It like click 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 or Mike, you got him again. There you go. Oh, he's been here. Oh, he's been here. He smarted off a couple of times. Uh, ain't no, I proved him wrong as soon as he come on here. He was talking about how insignificant I was, and hell, he's leaving his Thanksgiving woman and all that shit to come here and be entertained with us. I must be real significant. Yeah, he blamed me for people not signing the petition. I'm like, how the hell is that my fault? That's like saying a witness that goes out and tells people about Jesus. Well, if somebody don't accept Jesus, how's that my fault? Isn't that between them and Jesus? The same with this. I can tell people about this pot petition, how we can make it legal and you never go to jail. Now, if you want to sign it, fine. If not, and you want to go to jail and you get caught with it, you do. Well, maybe at that time you'll wish you signed it. I don't know. But how does it make it my fault? I did my part. I came out and witnessed to everybody about the benefits of cannabis, right? So I did my part. They like to try and shoot the messenger. They forget I'm just a messenger. I got a message. Don't shoot me. You can either listen and change or do nothing. But I did my part. When I told a person about it, I did my part. I get my reward for that. You know what I mean? I did my part. Oh, yeah. They're designed to break. Oh, hey, dumbass. Don't you remember making the post yesterday? How you and y'all got all these signatures on that petition? I got your dumbass to sign it. uh, um, hey, let's just get rid of the idiot. I just got rid of the idiot. Well, see, I didn't run on that valve, so I don't know anything about that valve. Hell, he could have had it in a race car for all I know. He said it spun a bearing. He wasn't going to rebuild the engine, and he ended up selling it. That's all I know. Yeah, well, I got him lost, John. I went ahead and gave him his exit papers. Yeah, well, there is no damage in the piston, so, or that I can see. Of course, I haven't took the head off yet, but I don't think there's going to be any damage there this time. But I know what you're saying. Well, how can a valve get stuck? Bad seal? Could a seal going bad make a valve stick? What would make a valve stick? Is the question. Sitting for a long, long time. Okay, well, so in other words, the transmission stuff and whatnot just didn't work. Knock the valve out, put another valve in, and it should be okay. Is that what I'm hearing? Well, I haven't put a valve in this. This is a head that had a bad valve in it, I guess. This is from the heads that I just got that I don't know nothing about. And evidently, I got a bad valve in one of them. Knock on wood, the others are all fine, or seem to be fine. But this one valve. And it was stuck shut when I put that head on. And right then and there, I should have took it off and done the valve. But I said, you know what? It broke loose. I'll put oil on it. It'll probably be fine. But I think that was the wrong call and the wrong decision. I think it needs to be replaced. I'm just not decided whether a new valve or putting one of the valves from this other head is the best way to go. I don't think it's really going to matter. What do you think? What do y'all think? Y'all think it's really going to matter whether I go get a new one or just set one in from the other head? Booyah! Cheers. I'll make it through the night. I'll make it through the night. um, I'll be right back. Right on. I hear you. I just don't know how the seal is, uh, and to tell how if the seal's good or what. You know what I mean? I'll do a little more studying on it tonight. Might be best just to buy a new seal and valve, or I think valve come with the seal. I don't know if you can buy them separate or what. I'll have to find out. No. Um, if okay, if you know how you can adjust the rocker, okay? Now I can adjust it to where it just you barely can't turn the push rod, right? Like you're going to set the lag, okay? It's got a load, and if you keep cranking it down, it's going to push the valve down, okay? The load's up, okay? You're setting the lag. You go down until you can till you put pressure on the push rod. As soon as you feel pressure on the push rod, it's tight enough, and then you go half a turn, and it's set. And you do all your cylinders like that when it's on the full up, da da da. Well, anyhow, I put the push rod in it, and I got it to where the push rod just barely turns. You know, it's got that little bit of drag on it. And then I went to go do a half a turn, and I felt like, as I was doing a half turn, 2 or 3 different times, like the valve was sticking and loose and stuck and loose and stuck and loose. Now you go do that to any of the other valves that don't do that. You can just do your half turn, it presses it down and lets it up, no problem. That's the only valve that does it. And if you take it down another half a turn, it does it more. So as you're deliberately pushing that valve down using the rocker, you feel it going like, instead of a smooth down and a smooth up. It comes up pretty smooth, as far as I can tell. But on the way down, it like stops and goes. Does that make sense? No, I didn't bump it over and watch it. I could feel it in my hand. I can feel it in my hand. That's why I didn't bump it over. Just trying to set the lag before I bumped it over. And if I can feel it in my hand like that, yeah, I'd be doing the same thing, put it back together. And when I was hauling ass down the road, that valve would bend. I guarantee it'd screw up and bend the push rod again. I'm glad I did it by hand, because it's telling me that valve's bad. Absolutely. But wouldn't it be better to pop another valve in than to take the chance of that not loosening up or wearing in or something? I'm too scared to take the chance that it's going to loosen up. It's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing as when I first unstuck it. And heck, it's ran a couple minutes since then. So if it's going to get any better, I honestly think it would have gotten better. But that's just my thought process. And the only thing I'm doing is spending an extra couple hours and an extra $75 by the time I get a valve and a head gasket. Oh, it'll bump over. I'm sure to go up and down, and you won't see it do that. But yeah, I'm not worried about the bumping over. I'm not worried about putting another valve in it. I think that's going to be a lot better. And I think when I put another valve in it, it's going to be just like the other ones, and it's not going to flex, stick, whatever. Because I'm already committed. All I got to do now is bust the head bolts off. Yeah, Mr. Will, I think that's the way to go. And like I say, I'm already, all I got to do is pop the head bolts. As soon as I untorque the head bolts and take them out, it's ready to lift the head off. I mean, I already had the exhaust manifold, the intake manifold up and everything to check the lifter and to get the broken rod and stuff out. So it was nothing. All I had to do was drop the exhaust, which I've already dropped that. Now I took the push rods and rocker arms off. Now all I got to do is the head bolts, and the head will lift right off. Yeah, heck, Razor, I'm going to do that instead of trying to cut a corner this time. Yeah, Mr. Eddie, I think I answered my own question there. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. I mean, Will's way might work, probably will work, whatever. But when I first unpopped that valve, I should have went ahead and done it then. But I was in a hurry, wanted to get it running. It broke loose. It'd be okay. Well, after it having a good 5 minutes and a dozen starts on it, I don't think it's okay. I don't think it's okay. I think if I replace it, everything will be okay. And we'll see. Like I say, it's only going to be, if I use an old valve, it's only going to be $50 or less. If I have to get another valve or buy a new valve seat and all, that can't be more than $30 or $40. The main expense is the head gasket. It's $40 in tax or $48 in tax, whatever. It's freaking ridiculous. But I'll tell you it, Mr. Eddie. I know I can do it. I know Daniel can do it, and together we'll both do it. Whatever. You know what I mean? Um, we'll get her done. I know I'll feel so much better if I replace that valve. Because even if it started working, it would be in the back of my mind. And, as soon as something happened, I'd immediately think, I think I'd rather have that satisfaction of knowing I fixed that valve. And if something else happens, it's not because I didn't fix that valve. What if there is some damage to that valve and I get going and I'm doing 55, 60 down the interstate and it breaks and it drops down and goes through the piston and shit? You know what I mean? I'd much rather replace that valve because I think there's something wrong with it. That could be me, but I think there's something wrong with it. Yeah, I'll know. Yeah, it's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to do. I've always taken heads and had them, if I needed some head work done, have it done. I haven't, but it's not hard. I mean, I know how to do it and all. I mean, I put a valve in a lawnmower and stuff. I mean, I know how to do them and all, but yeah. So I mean, I don't think there's going to be any problem putting one in. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Oh wow, that's not bad at all. Let's see if we can get a new valve tomorrow. I might need you to run the auto parts if we can't get one here. And can he do it tomorrow? Is the whole question. Find out if he can do it tomorrow. Because I'd like to get her. I mean, I've watched videos on it. It ain't nothing to put a new one in, but I don't mind paying someone $20 to put it in either. You know what I mean? So if he can do it tomorrow and $20, hell yeah. Set her up. We got to find the valve though. Hey, Snaps, everything's pretty good. I've got to take the head off in the morning. I'm 15 minutes from having it off. I got the head bolts left. Everything else is done. I'm going to try and see if we get a guy to put a valve in it tomorrow. You can take it to him tomorrow. Right on, right on. So I'm going to try and track down a new valve um, for this. Hey, Daniel, did he say that you could use an old one if we can't get a new one tomorrow? You might ask him that. Can I? Can you take this other head and him take one out and put in it if need be? I mean, I'll try to get a new valve. But what if we can't find a new valve tomorrow? See if he can put a used one in, or if he if he even consider that. Well, I understand that, Will, but hell, everybody here was so far out, 2 and 3 weeks, that I didn't want to be here 2 and 3 weeks to have head jobs done. You know, it's kind of hard to find a place to set for 2 and 3 weeks when your heads are off in the shop. Now, had I known I'd been sitting here all week with the heads off, well, but that's still, I mean, look, I'm getting bugged about moving. I'd still be another week out on getting the heads back. Sure, I'd get them back and in good shape and everything, but I didn't have nowhere to set while I had the heads done. Oh yeah, I'm sure I can do it here myself, or me and Daniel can do it here and just pop an old valve out and in. Um, we'll see what it takes. Oh, he knows you may be bringing the old head? Okay, cool. See, I don't mind that at all, Will. If somebody wants to pop another valve in there for me for $20, I got no problem with that. Saves me the headache of doing it and whatnot. Then again, if we pop it out, I can find out whether it's rubbing or bent or whatever. So it's got its pros and its cons. I kind of like to take it out, you know what I mean? And see if I can figure out why it was sticking. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, Mr. Daniel. We've got a plan. Whether we do it, whether you take it over there and he does it, we've got a plan, and I like that. First thing I'm going to do is find out if I can get a single valve and how much and yada 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 yada. If we can't get a single valve or there's any trouble getting whatever, we'll just take another head. Oh, I know how to take them out and put them in, Will. I just, like I say, I haven't done them. You mean the hydraulic lifter? Check the hydraulic lifter? Well, I probably won't go with Dan, but send it with Dan. I mean, there's no reason for me to go. And I'm sure Dan and the guy would tell me what they found, why it was sticking or not sticking or whatever, Um, I got every faith in that. I just don't think it's a big deal to replace. I think it's like Will says, all we got to do is go to AutoZone and get a spring compressor. They've got one. I know they do. Um, Compress the keyways, take it out, and see what it is. And if they got a new one, we can put in a new keyways and everything, or new spring and valve and everything, or we can take one off of another head and put over there spring and everything. Um, Easy. I mean, we've both done harder things than that already to it, so it's not like nothing we can't do. But then again, maybe this friend needs to make $20 or whatever, and it helps out another person. That would be cool too. And the best I can tell, the lifter and the load look fine. Um, they don't look real worn or anything like that. Now, I didn't put the load on the lifter and do that because, like I say, uh, the valve thing. Now, I can do that before I take the head off. Well, I just throw a push rod back in it, and I can do it tonight if I wanted to. But I figured, I'm replacing the valve anyway. But I think the lifter's fine. That's just what I think. Well, is it that time? Let me let me go put some water on the dog food for the dogs, if you don't mind. I'll be back in a second. I'm going to get their dinner started and grab me a course. Yeah, I bought a can of beer when I got that cup of coffee. Coffee's gone, so I guess it's beer 30. I'll be right back. Oh, move, little ones. Where's your bowl, Lilo? Here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Ah! Good. Move. Move, mama. Move. Move, kids. Mama and kids. Kids and mama. Move. Look, look, your food's being made, softening as we speak. Well, did the trolls come out while I was away? I kind of expect them to. Damn, nobody said nothing while I was feeding the dogs. Wow. I didn't read his comment. Did I see it? Oh, baby stream. Yeah, I didn't see it. It just popped up. Oh, I could go out and check out your hotline. I didn't see none of them messages. Damn. Yeah, you know me, I don't like leaving the RV if I don't have to, especially knowing that the cops are probably going to come by tomorrow. I'd much rather sit here and have you go out and do it, If I didn't have to worry about the idiot trolls and the cops coming or something, that would be a different story. Thank you, Eddie. I didn't see that comment about going with me. Yeah, I didn't. I was, I guess, watering the dogs at that time their food. John Jones. It's always 420. Excuse me. Oh. Well, gosh. How about a story? Mr. John, have you, Mike, or any of your newer people, have y'all heard the story about the West Virginia State Police and me? When they did an illegal search back in 2014 at a Walmart parking lot of all places. If not, that's a good story. Oh, you haven't heard that one? Cool. Let me tell you about it. Of course, back in 2014, cannabis was like everywhere, except Colorado, California, and maybe one or two other places, Oregon or something. It's just when everything started moving along. And then Washington, legalizing it in D.C., Washington, D.C. and all that first year. Or the second year, I think it was. So anyhow, getting back to it. It was 2014, and by the time I got through Kansas, I had Calvin's, and this was on the very first Cannabis, not this RV, the one that burnt, the very first Cannabis, okay? And I had Calvin's in all the side windows, pissing on Emporia, Kansas Sheriff, Emporia, Kansas Police, Flagstaff Mayor and City Council, Mayor of Glendale, Arizona. I forget, but they was, I was starting to run out of windows. And I'm like, damn, I got to figure something out. And my harebrained idea come to me was, what if I called them first? Give them that first respect, and talk to them, and let them know why I'm coming to town and all, and see if that makes a difference. So I started doing that, and it did. It made a big difference. It changed everything. I'd call and ask to talk to a city manager, just like I did in Huntington, West Virginia. I called and I talked to the city manager of Huntington, West Virginia, and told him about who I was and what I was doing. And, I'd already been to a dozen states, this, that, and the other, and I was headed to Washington with a petition and all. And they told me, you're very welcome in West Virginia, Huntington, West Virginia, and we'll notify our local police and stuff, and you shouldn't have no troubles, and welcome. And that they appreciated, that courtesy call. And almost everyone I've called is like that, which is cool. The thing is, I didn't know where I chose to park that night to sleep was at a Walmart that lets you overnight park. But it was 2 or 3 blocks out of the city, which I don't think it really made the difference. What I didn't know, when it would have changed my mind, I would have still parked there, was on the same property. You know how, like, the outer edge, you'll see another store or this, that, and the other. It's really Walmart property still, but well, there's the Huntington, West Virginia State Police office there, which I didn't know when I pulled in or nothing. Didn't matter. I still would have pulled in. So I'm there, and it's hot, and I had my front door open with the screen shut, and it was just after midnight, and one of the employees from Walmart, this was before the pandemic, when it was 24 hours, one of the stockers from Walmart comes out, and, hey, cool, blah, 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 we're talking, and this, that, and the other. And where I was sitting, I could see the mirror, and I seen a set of headlights pull up kind of behind the RV, but a little bit to the side. And I said, wow, man, that's either security or the cops. And he says, it's got to be the cops. We don't have security here. And he turns and starts to go on back towards Walmart. And I'm like, oh, cool. The cops know I'm in town, whatever, no big deal. And I come over to the door and open screen. The cop's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, hey, didn't you get the message that I'm in town? And I don't know why that upset him, but that really must have upset him when I asked him, didn't you get the message that I'm in town? Because he's come here, and he reaches at me as he's saying, come here. And, somebody comes to grab at you, and you don't know what's going on. Your natural reaction is to try and, hey, what the fuck? As I'm trying to say, hey, what the fuck? He latches onto me, and he yanks me from the top step down to the asphalt. Boy, you in West Virginia. Puts his knee in my back, puts the handcuffs on me and all that shit, stands me up, turns me around by the light pole. Boy, you in West Virginia, and and this, that, and the other, and I'm going to get my dope dog, all kinds of stupid shit. He leaves me there at the pole with the sergeant and whatnot, and pulls his patrol car from behind the RV over to the side that we're at. So now his camera can't show the other side of the RV, where supposedly the dope dog hit or nothing. Walmart cameras weren't out at the edge of the property, so nobody got to see the other side of the motorhome. They could have did whatever they wanted to do, whatever. And, that's the only reason I can think he moved his car. Well, anyhow, after he moves the car over, waiting on the dope dog and a couple more state troopers to show up, he puts me in a police car, and a sergeant comes and starts talking to me. And about that time, this one black officer, state trooper, comes up. We got some, Sarge, we got some. There's a whole stack of roaches right inside the doorway there. You can see them from the door. We got them, Sarge. And I'm like, hey, Sarge, hey, tell him he can reach in there and grab every one of them he wants, and you can waste all your drugs. That's bugler. I smoked bugler, and back then I was smoking, tobacco, but I was rolling my own. Number one, they look like roaches, and did exactly what I was hoping they'd do if it ever happened. And number two, they were cheaper. But oh yeah, he was so happy that they had me and whatnot. And I told the sergeant, and I still had one in my whiskers and whatnot about this long from when he threw me to the ground and everything. It just went out. Buglers went out, and I still had it in my lip when he was saying boy. And I'm like, Sergeant, it's just like this one here, in the corner of my mouth. It's reach in there and get all you want. You got my permission. And a couple minutes later, the dope dog comes. And they take me out of the car, and they tell me to go and get my dog and put him on a leash and bring him out. And I do that. And now I'm sitting there holding Jack. And the initial officer, the black officer, and another trooper, all three go in the motorhome. Well, first, before that, K9 comes by. And he goes around the motorhome. Now, he starts out at the back and comes up the passenger side. Remember, the door's open. The screen is shut, but the main door is open. And when the dog comes by to the open door, it jumps up and literally puts his paw prints, toenails through the screen and rips it a little bit. And you could tell that was done by a dog. I mean, they don't give a shit. But anyhow, the dog didn't hit or nothing. Just jumped up there and then went on down the motorhome like he was leading it around. And supposedly he gets over on the other side, because when he comes back over there, he tells them, well, it hit on the other side, yada, 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 yada. And I'm thinking, that's a super fucking dog. It didn't smell anything through an open door. Okay, that's open door, free air, whatever. It couldn't smell anything through that open door, but it could smell through a solid RV wall, because there's nothing down the side on that other RV or this one, nothing except the wall. There's no opening or whatever, So I thought that was pretty funny. And that's where they got their probable cause, because their dog hit on it, which it didn't. That was a total lie. And three officers, the one that first came and yanked me out to the ground, the black officer that thought I had a bunch of roaches, and then a third trooper go in and start searching the motorhome. I'm left out there with the sergeant and the K9 guy and stuff. And they spent about 15 minutes in there. And he came back out, and the black guy went off. The other trooper went off to whatever, when they come out. The only one that came up to me was the first trooper, over the sergeant and whatnot. And I said, see, you didn't find a damn thing. He looked at me and said, we got tired of looking. And I'm like, well, my friend, he said, yeah, you can get back, and I went and I found that my camera was broken and shit, and how they threw shit all over the place. But I found my bad cop, no donut sticker, my very last bumper sticker. And I was just being a smart ass and went out there and I said, you gentlemen deserve this bad cop, no donut. And I'd be damned if he didn't accept it. The only officer that out of a lot of them that I offered it to, they're all like, no, I can't take that, this, that, and the other, or ha. He accepted it proudly. But now, if you guess his names, you've heard this story before. I want you to tell me the names of the patrolman, the trooper, and the name of his sergeant that did this. They're the Huntington, West Virginia State Police. This is all a true story, but it would work in a Cheech and Chong movie, because you cannot convince me they did not profile me. Can you guess their names? As far as I know, from what I heard from Mr. Sean, one is still working for the state police. The other one got caught doing something else. Had nothing to do with me, but they made him retire. So one of them still works for the West Virginia State Police, and the other one don't. But unless you've heard this story, chances are you'd never guess their names. But it would be like characters out of a Cheech and Chong movie. You know, like the Dave, and Dave's not here type thing. Any of you want to try and guess the names? It makes the whole story worth listening to. And when it was all over with, I gave them that bad cop, no donut sticker. Huntington, West Virginia City Hall told me to file a tort claim. They weren't even going to fight me on that. They knew everything was wrong. Walmart replaced my pair of jeans. It cut my knee. It put a hole in my jeans when my knee hit the ground and all. Walmart gave me a new pair of jeans and replaced both of my cameras. I could have sued the heck out of Huntington, West Virginia, but I didn't. None of you want to try and guess her name, huh? Well, I don't want to tell you. Somebody's got to at least try to guess. I'll do a bubbler. You'll think about it. Do you want me to tell you their names? Let's try that. Someone's got to ask, do you want to hear the sergeant's name or the patrolman's name? I'll give you one of them, but you gotta either put patrolman or sergeant. I think y'all heard the story because nobody wants to hear the names. That's the whole point of the story. Ain't that right, little ones? Yeah, tell them. That's the whole point of the story. Oh, goodness sakes, goodness sakes, goodness sakes. Uh-oh, hang over. Hang on. Oh, heck, I didn't see it. Hit a bunch of comments. Hey, I'm sorry. It hit a bunch of comments. I just turned the comment filter, and now I can see a bunch of them. I'm sorry. It hid them comments from me. Hang on. Because, yes, Sergeant, one of them. Okay, I didn't see all that. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. The sergeant name was Sergeant Hash. Sergeant Hash. As in, you know, hash. Now, can you guess what the patrolman's name was? And I kid you not, these were their real names. I had to look on their little thing, their name tag. And yes, it was Sergeant Hash. And it was Patrolman Roach. State Trooper Roach and Sergeant Hash of the Huntington, West Virginia State Police in 2014 did an illegal search on the original Cannabis in a Walmart parking lot. True story. True story. Yeah, hey, that's absolute true story. Absolute 100% true story. Huntington, West Virginia. Hell, if Sean was here, he could tell you. That's how I met Mr. Sean. Yeah. And the city told me to file a tort claim. They weren't even going to fight me on it. Because I'd called them and told them that I was coming and everything and whatnot, you know? Um, but no, everything was cool. That's why when these idiots call me lawsuit Jim and how I'm looking for whatnot, hell, ask Mr. Will and them. I could have sued the hell out of Knoxville, Tennessee when I had the RV fire and stuff. Another story for another night if you like. I could have sued the hell out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Instead, I went down, I had a big yellow sandwich sign, you know, yellow front poster board, yellow on the back, and black marker. And it said, sorry, Knoxville, your city mayor and chief of police suck. And that was good enough for me. I was put on their Knoxville, Tennessee crime watch. That was a lot funner than filing a tort claim or suing the city. Graham, North Carolina. Barney Fife himself. I could have filed the suit there when in the middle. You'll have to get that story. See, I don't want to tell all these stories tonight, you know. Graham, North Carolina, Barney Fife. That's another good story. Hell, the trooper that caused an accident in Tennessee. Good story. The trooper, the headline read "To Be Blunt." Good story. I got lots of stories. Someone just waved. Couple of lovers meeting up, probably 2 cars full of one guy. He waved at me, and now all of a sudden they're all over there hugging and kissing. So evidently they just met up here or something. Well, let me go over here and pour the not pour. Let me add the ingredients to the dog food and give them their meal, and I'll be right back. Cheers. Oh, yuck. Ah. Nasty. That's a nasty shit. Move, little one. We had first drink tonight or second drink there, whatever it was. That was nasty. Excuse me, folks. Move, puppies. Here you go, kids. Ah, there you go. Mama dog. There you go, Mama. Might get a brew. There you go. I picked up a coffee and a beer earlier because I felt like it. That's normally why you pick them up, huh? Damn it, what did I do with my glasses? Yeah. I thought it was kind of a Cheech and Chong story. What's the chances of in a Walmart parking lot running across Officer Roach and Sergeant Hash? I mean, there's so many different stories and things in my journey that people have not heard or, whatever that, yeah. It's a shame Atlantic East Motion Pictures never got the money to do the movie like they wanted to do. I still like the trailers they did. Those are pretty cool. Oh, John, you didn't know that Atlantic East Motion Pictures wanted to do the movie? No shit. They wanted to make the movie. We never got up to 20 grand. The movie One Man's Journey was supposed to have been released in 2019. Yeah, but we never got the funds to do it. Oh yeah. If you go on my YouTube and go down my videos, there are ways back and whatnot, but you can see the they did 2 or 3 different movie trailers to try and we was going to get funding and whatnot up, but it never caught on. Just like people not signing the petition, never caught on. People don't care. But Atlantic East Motion Pictures in Richmond, Virginia, they're like me. They know even the haters would have to go see the movie. You can't hate something you don't go see. So the supporters would go, and even the haters would go. Maybe as a one-time, one-year movie, it would be pretty damn big. The producer, the owner of Atlantic East, they knew that, but we just couldn't get the money to do it. They're still willing to do it, but it would probably cost more like $30,000 to $35,000 now because how everything's much higher. But back in 2019, they wanted to do it, and they was only seeking 20 grand to do it. Couldn't get no investors, nobody behind it, nothing. Happy Thanksgiving, my brother. When they did the trailers, they were 3 of them done. 2 of them I pretty much remember. One, they used the Four Corner News. It starts out Atlantic East Motion Pictures, yada, 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 presents. And I think it has a quote from Don Williams or something, whatever. Anyhow, it's breaking news, and then it's just the Four Corner News story they did on me, basically. Which is good and whatnot. It was pretty cool for a little movie trailer. The second one, he asked me to kind of just tell him a story. And so I did a little thing telling him a story about, kind of what happened, why would a person do this, that, the other, yada, 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 yada. Anyhow, he gave that tape that I told him because he wanted to hear my story, to make the movie. He gave that tape to the editor, James Garland, I think is his last name. And James Garland went and found a picture of a motorhome, had a little dog. I mean, I'm like, how the hell did he get that? It's not my motorhome. It's not my dog and stuff. It's just different clips he got off the internet. Anyhow, he made a really, really good, and see, I never even wanted to, and I kind of like narrated. They used my story like in that. and it turned out pretty damn cool. It really did. If I thought of it, I could probably send you the a link to it. Um, One of them, there'd be like a flagpole sticking up. There'd be just a scene. A scene. If you go down the videos, it'd be like a parking lot of a scene of like a big parking area or something like that. And there's a flagpole sticking up with a flag flying. That's one of them. Um, Heck, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's see if this screws with me or not. Hang on a minute. Let's try something. Wrong button. Hang on. What are they going crazy about? People ain't over here. Uh, Give me another second here and I'll be ready. Maybe. Maybe. Tell and bad, then it might not work. But if it don't buffer bad, I want to show you. Let's see if I can. Oh, Jesus. Or, why is it making me sign into my account? Man, I'll just do this for a second. Uh, Sorry about this. I normally don't have to do this. Oh, there we go. Finally. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can find. Hey John, have y'all seen the one where I was in Texas and a state trooper comes up to my door and asks me if I have any marijuana in there? Has anybody seen that one? If you're traveling along and you stop somewhere and a trooper come up your door, you open the door and they're saying you ain't got no marijuana in there. Oh, you've seen that one? Okay. I was going to show you that one, but if you've seen that one, that's cool. Let's see if I can find the ones that I'm looking for here. Damn, there's a lot more on there than I thought. Oh, it's way down there, I guess. Here's the one that burnt, for those that didn't know.
I hope everybody's doing good.
You seen it.
Hope everybody's doing good.
Let me go back and see if I can find what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Maybe I think I got the right page. Okay. Good. It says Good Morning Atlantic East Motion Picture Company movie. I don't know which one this one is.
My friends, this was a trailer that Atlantic East Motion Pictures was putting out. We never got the money to do the movie. What would it take to push you over the edge? To sell everything you own but your RV, tell all your family and friends goodbye, and set out to fight for everyone's rights to cannabis and hemp. On March 1st of 2014, Jack Harris no clothes. All commerce was carried by hemp and seals. On March 1st of 2014, the fight began. I have traveled 30 states over the last 5 years. Could it be that your mom, being an alcoholic, bounced around in the foster homes in Florida? Your mom being murdered on Christmas Day? Or your best friend standing next to you at your job driving a tow truck and was shot and killed? Set up on 2 counts of sales of marijuana in Farmington, New Mexico. In 2015, I had a cannabis event at Mount Rushmore. In 2016, I did a march on DC. It was in 2016 that I was invited to the 34th Vietnam Veterans Reunion held in Kokomo, Indiana at the Howard County Healing Field. I didn't understand why the vets wanted me to come, but I went. And when I got there, they explained to me that they can't fight for the rights to cannabis. As soon as they mention it, they end up losing their medication or their benefits. So I proudly represent the vets. I'm not a vet, I'm their voice. Along the journey, I lost my other cannabis, the first one, in a fire in Knoxville, Tennessee. But the Cannabis 2 was born a couple months later, and it was christened at the 35th Vietnam Veterans Reunion in Kokomo, Indiana. Now, along the way, I met lots and lots of many wonderful people, like Miles Walker.
I was diagnosed at 9 years old with Tourette syndrome, 34 now.
He wrote the book, Tourette's versus Everyone. There's a Purple Heart veteran, Jeremy Anderson. His story will be in there. Now, along the way, I also met the family of Jeff McKenzie.
How you doing? My name's Jeff Wazansky, and I've been out 2 years, September 1st. Got the governor to sign and change my sentence from a life without to a life sentence. I'm not on parole now.
You're going to see a lot about good towns and bad towns that I've traveled through. Along the journey, I met a lot of wonderful good cops, but there's also the bad cops. So along the journey, I give out the good cop attaboy or the bad cop that are donut award.
30 states, 3 years on the road.
That's pretty awesome.
Thank you. I love wonderful officers, I really do. I met a couple. Oh, so good. I can't believe it. You're the first officer in a good cop battle lady.
Well, what do you think of that, Mr. John? I don't think that was too bad of a movie trailer, huh? I mean, it's not like they didn't try. Yeah. But, oh, the producer had the opening scene down pat. He asked me the he asked me the very first drug I ever remember doing, and I told him cigarettes. And that is the very first drug that I ever remember doing. And I remember as a child, hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I remember as a child, we were down in a parking lot by our VW van and stuff, okay? Mom and Dad was up on the roof painting a sign. My dad was a sign painter, and my mom was helping him, or whatever she was doing. But anyhow, we were down below all playing, me and my brother and sister and whatnot, and we couldn't wait for either Dad or Mom to flip one of their cigarette butts off the roof. Because they wouldn't be thinking, just and flip their cigarette off the roof. And we would race over and find out which one could grab it first, and see, that's one of the very first memories I got as kids. Heck, like one of the only memories I have of me and the other brothers and sisters, really playing and stuff. But I never forget that, chasing the cigarette butts and seeing who could get it, and smoke it and keep it from the others. So he said that my parent would flip the cigarette off. The opening scene of the movie would be when one of my parents flipped the cigarette off, and it would come and tumble and hit the ground, and the big sparks would fly and stuff like that. He liked that opening scene of the cigarette butt, hitting the ground and starting everything and whatnot. And I thought that would be a pretty cool opening scene too. But it hasn't happened. It may, when I die, it may happen. You never know. Could happen beforehand. Who knows? Let me take you outside here for a second. We need to let Lilu take a walk. Move. Lilu needs to go outside. I'll take y'all out there with me for a second. Let her walk. Then I'm going to have to go. Okay, baby, go. But I'm going to have to go shortly afterwards. I don't have to, but I'm going to. Let me set y'all here while I get her ready to go out. Go ahead, Lulu. Good one, Frank. Good one. Good one. Fire hitter time, I hear you. I've got another little bubbler or two left, and I got my ashes. I may go find a little Delta product tomorrow, depending on how much longer I will be here. I have no idea. They were going to do open call casting and stuff like that. Everything was up to the producer there, the owner of Atlantic East Motion. I mean, it was all his vision and dream. I mean, I don't know nothing about pictures. I didn't even want to be in it. Hell, when he did that movie trailer with my voice, I didn't even want that. I didn't know he was going to do that. That was just my pitch to him. So when he released that trailer, you know, and he says, no, you know, you've got to be in it. And I think that's what he wanted me to do, was kind of be like the narrator of it or something. No, they've never made the movie. No, if they had the money, they'd still make it, I'm sure. They thought it was a good movie then, and it's only gotten better, basically. Now there's trolls and all kinds of stuff that's happened, you know. There you go, Frank. Well, thank you, Dave. I think that it would sell tickets. Number one, for the supporters, you know, the advocates, the supporters, the stuff of the Cannabis. Of course, and that's quite a few people, okay? I'm sure a lot of people would go see it. People that met me, people that wanted to meet me, okay? But then there's the other side of the coin. You know, you got haters out there. And for them to hate the movie, they got to go see the movie, right? So that's where, damn, why can't I think of it? His name, first name is Will, I think, the owner of Atlantic East Motion Pictures. That's where he's seen the money and the bucks. Not only with the people that want to see the movie go see it, but even the haters would go see it. And that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? I mean, Reaper Madness is stupid. It's a movie that you could hate as a stoner and whatnot, but most people want to go see it so they can hate it. But I mean, personally and all, no, I really don't want to be in the movie. I don't want to narrate it. I want to do nothing. I've already lived it once. I'd like to give all the tapes and videos and everything and the whole story to someone. They want to write the movie and split the profits. Let's do it. Heck, if we'd came up with that 20 grand, it would have already been done. But it wasn't time, you know? Could you imagine if the movie came out in 2019 and all? We would have already had legalization by now. Come on, leave it. A movie like that come out and be produced and shown and whatnot and get the people behind it. It could have helped legalize cannabis by now. But maybe that's why we didn't get the funding behind it, because all truth be said, not as many people or whatever. There's a bunch of closet smokers that don't want to admit the benefits of it, whatever. I don't know. Would I do what for $1 million? Would I play in the movie and do the movie? Oh, I mean, if that's what it takes to actually get the movie done, oh, hell, I'd do it for a lot cheaper than that. Yeah, well, it's supposed to be a documentary splash movie 420 Gym one man's journey was what it was called. Oh, right on, Dana. Right on, right on, right on. That's pretty cool. I bet he's happy about the new guitars. Well, I don't know about a better name for the film. I kind of liked what they came up with. But I mean, I'm open for suggestions. Yeah, I'm open for suggestions. Let's see if I can find this other one real quick here. Oh. Damn. I don't want to sign in. Hang on a second. It's going to cut me off and I'll be right back. The Medicine is a Hitman movie. There you go. Hey, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Hope you're all still here. Sorry about that.
What would it take to push you over the edge to sell everything you own but your RV? Tell all your family and friends goodbye and set out to fight.
This is the same one I just played, but it's the one directly from them. Instead of one that I just recorded off of the whatchamacallit? Doggone it. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. This is the one I was telling you to look for, John, was with the flag. That's the one we just watched, I think. Yeah.
On March 1st of 2014, the fight began. I have traveled 30 states over the last 5 years.
That's the one we just watched, though.
Out of the book of Jack Harrow, the
let me find the other one here. Might not be able to. I got so much other junk on here. Yeah. Never mind. Oh, I got so many on there. It'd take me a little bit to find the other one. But the other one was just when they used the part from Breaking News, where they did the very first story on me out there in Colorado. No, it must be laced with something. Well, hey, my friends, I'm going to load the power hitter, take a hit, and pretty much sign off. If you got any last questions, comments, or concerns, please post them now. Happy Turkey Day to everybody. I hope everybody has a blessed and wonderful Turkey Day. Oh, I bet he would. I bet I bet he would. Stop at absolutely nothing. Please make sure you signed the petition and shared it. If you signed it and haven't shared it in a while, please share it. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, peace, love, and cannabis for all. Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know about that. I'm going to try and send you that address here in a couple minutes there, Mr. John, as long as I'm thinking about it. Please double tap the screen if you haven't tonight, folks, before you leave. Please take a minute right now, a second, and just double tap that screen one time for me. When you see the videos, the lives, whatever, whenever you're watching them, please give it a double tap and tell the algorithm you like it. Subscribe to the channel, follow along. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I'll be back tomorrow at noon and 7 p.m. Until then, remember, it's all about peace, love, and cannabis for all. One team, one dream, united we stand, and if we try, we can all get along, folks. The dogs love you, I love you, and most of all, Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful evening, folks. I hope all of you made it through turkey dinner and aren't too stuffed. and have a good night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at noon. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Peace out, y'all.